What's up, Kevin over at LEGbrOs coming back at you with another part of our Build 'em All series here. We do have 3 sets that I built today, all coming from that same lot. Go ahead and check that video out. The link will be in the description if you haven't seen it. Just a giant lot from a collector that I bought of over 100 sets, so go ahead and check that out. I am going to be building all of these sets. I'm not really focusing on the minifigures because I kind of do that normally. So the minifigures themselves, I'm not sure if I'm going to include them with the sets or not, but this is going to be kind of a series based off of the actual builds on the actual things. I will highlight the minifigures, but mostly it's just because I'm going to be building them to check for the inventory just to make sure there's nothing missing on the actual sets themselves. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. We do have the 75138 Hoth Attack, the 75087 Anakin's Custom Jedi Starfighter, and the 75082 TIE Advanced Prototype from the Rebels series there. So first off, we do have a good Hoth set here, just the Hoth Attack set. It does make you kind of feel like you are just kind of in the pits of Hoth, which is kind of cool. I did enjoy that they have like just the little shovel to dig yourself out, the little wrench there. One kind of cool thing is you can kind of build this in a multitude of different ways, so you can kind of make a Hoth scene if you want. You can have it like this, or you can also, I believe the thing is on this side, you can also pop this out, and similar to the picture, you can make it kind of like any direction you want. You could make it like a long thing, you could kind of go like this, you know, there's a lot of different kind of angles you could put on it. You could just make it like that. So that was kind of cool. I really thought that was a cool, unique design. Specifically on the actual set itself. Really cool feature. You do have this kind of turnable turret as well, which I thought was really cool. Overall, this set has really cool features, I thought. Also does come with this little cannon, mobile cannon that you can put on the snow and just put a figure behind. It does have a vulture droid as well, or not vulture droid, what is it? Is it vulture droid? I don't know what those droids are called, but just have those little floating droids that you get from the Hoth scene there. We also do have the kind of white troopers as well, just a rebel trooper. We got Han Solo in his brown form there, and an Imperial Stormtrooper as well, just so you have somebody to fight there. So overall, a really cool set. I really did enjoy this for just being such a tiny little set. I think there is a lot of playability on here. You could get a whole bunch of these and kind of put them together in a really cool scene. Specifically. So next set we do have the 75087 Anakin's Custom Jedi Starfighter. Not a huge fan of the actual look of the ship. It looks kind of like a pod racer, which I guess would make it Anakin's custom design. I guess that's where that comes from, but not a huge fan of those kind of models with the giant weird things on the front specifically. But you know, we do have a little bit of playability. We have the cockpit here. The wings kind of have some movement to them as well, and then we do have some cannons and actually some cannon storage on the back, which is kind of cool on the bottom here. I thought that was kind of cool. They kept the extra ones, you know, with the set. A lot of times you get these little things and you don't really have anywhere to put them after you've fired them with the extras on the actual set. So there's actually 4 of these launchable kind of projectiles, and then 2 on the bottom that you can actually keep just kind of stored there. So I thought that was a really cool feature. The landing gear does go up there, you see, and there actually is kind of a cool feature there. You see that little peg. That little peg goes up, if I can reach it here. That little peg goes up, and you see your droid actually goes right in that little spot. So you can actually launch the droid out. You see that little red droid right there. You can actually launch the droid out, which is kind of cool. This one did come with some cool minifigs. It did come with a good version of Anakin. That's a pretty high value version of him, probably because not a lot of people bought this set. I'm not 100% sure how popular it was. And we do have just a regular astromech, and then that other version of the Asajj Ventress, which is, I think, the only set that comes in as well. So really good figs specifically, but I'm wondering if they're good figs because not a lot of people wanted that set specifically. So obviously, you know, you guys can make your own decisions if you liked that kind of, you know, build, if you like the episode, you know, 1 kind of look. And the pod racing look, obviously it's going to be right for you because, I mean, it is still a starship after all. It is still a Jedi Starfighter, so it still has some of that look. It just has these little bonus things on the front, which is kind of what differs it. If it was just this little, you know, thing here, obviously it would be like any of the other Starfighters, but I definitely would have enjoyed it because I am a fan of that kind of look. So next we did have the 75082 TIE Fighter Advanced Prototype. This one came with just a TIE pilot, an Imperial officer, and then it also had the Inquisitor on there. All three of these were new at the time. I'm thinking that the officer and the TIE pilot were replicated. I think the Inquisitor, this is the only set that he comes in that version. I'll have to check on that to make sure. Box is a little roughed up there, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. This build itself was pretty cool. I really do like the look of it, even though it's a Rebels ship, and not necessarily just a really movie canon ship. It is really cool looking TIE fighter. I think it does have kind of like the foldable wings, kind of like the Darth Vader TIE fighter, where these things can kind of fold in. I don't know if that was just for, guessing that's just for like docking and storage or something like that, but I definitely do like them out rather than in, of course. Do have two fireable mechanisms there, and this one I was kind of talking about in one of the other videos, how they usually just do it like this, where these kind of long things are just sticking out, and I really don't like the look of that. Obviously there are ways of getting these mechanisms to fire, and obviously pushing that is kind of weird to me, instead of just having a mechanism on the actual ship itself. So this one actually has some cool features. I'll show you about this. You do have two ways that the cockpit can open, so you see you have both of these cool little cockpit dish pieces with the printing on them, which is also awesome. And then back here, this little thing rotates, and actually this is what fires the two things. So you can actually see on the bottom, you have the two little discs sticking out, but you can't see them as much as you would see them, on this ship. They don't just stick out like that. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but not really a whole lot. So I love how they buried that in there. And then, if you actually rotate this, it's going to do the pushing on those backs of those for you. So you can actually just do that mechanism to fire both of them off, which I thought was really cool. I'd like to see that incorporated into the design instead of just kind of thrown on top, specifically like that. So, I really did enjoy this one. This was definitely one to check out if you guys have not built that one already. If you did enjoy this series, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the little bell to be notified for the next one. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of these. Like I said, I got about 100 sets that I'm going to be building just to check for inventory. So go ahead and check out the next one or some of the other ones from previous. I would definitely recommend the haul video. That was pretty epic. So go ahead and check that out, leave a like, and comment below if you liked any of these ships, which ones were your favorite. Alright, I'll see you next time.